What's up, guys? Clutch Caleb Williams, the Chicago Bears, come back with a stunning victory at home at Soldier Field against the Giants. Were they great? Were they perfect? No. Is this a team that has a lot of things they need to do to get better? Yes. But man, oh man, if they get the ball in the fourth quarter and the game is at least close, whoo, you got to believe in them. And that's a feeling that I haven't felt in my entire life as a Bears fan. It's crazy. I love what Caleb Williams can do. I got to talk about the one thing I got to talk about, guys. We got to talk about the drops. We'll talk about the drops. Way too many drops. We'll talk about the defense being, they give up too many big plays. They let people go down the field and score all over them. What's up, Stacks? They get tore up on defense sometimes. But man, when we need a stop, this team can come through with a big stop or a turnover. And man, CJ Gardner-Johnson, that guy is incredible. He has made an instant impact on this defense already. He hasn't even been a Bear 2 weeks. He hasn't been here long enough to get through half of a training camp yet. That's how long he's been a member of this team. And he has 3 sacks, a forced fumble, and probably 15 tackles, I think. He's been awesome, and he's really helped out our defense. Man, he's been good. That was a huge addition. I will say Montez Sweat's picking up a little bit. He has 4 sacks over the last 4 weeks, but man, oh man, Buck's in the house too. Listen, yeah, this is the first time we've had a quarterback who, when he gets the ball, fourth quarter, and this team's down, it's not like, oh man, what's Jay Cutler going to do now? What's Mitch Trubisky going to do now? How is Rex or Kyle Orton or whoever going to find a way to lose this game? Instead, Caleb Williams has that clutch gene, and everyone's like, man, let's see what Caleb can do in the fourth quarter. Let's see what he could do. That touchdown run was incredible, man. That touchdown run, I was like, throw it, Caleb. And then he's flipped out, spun around, ran down the sideline, stayed in bounds, and got in the end zone. Woo, man. I got to take a sip for that one. Caleb. Yeah, that was a masterclass move there. I think CJ Gardner-Johnson, that guy can play. That guy is really helping out this secondary. He's a baller. He talked about how when he didn't play for a few weeks this year, football was taken away from him. Ben Johnson said it. He's back. He's playing his best ball right now, and he's a perfect addition to this secondary, man. I don't like the hero ball stuff. What you're misconcepting there, oh really? Hero ball stuff, and I talked about it last week. If you would have actually listened to my entire video, this is what I hate, when people listen to like a couple words I say, but they don't listen to the entire sentence and then try to use my words out of context. The hero ball stuff is when Caleb Williams dances around behind the line of scrimmage too much. What he's doing now that's different from what he did at USC or what he did last year with the Bears is he's more decisive. He's not just dancing around in the pocket. He'll make a guy miss, and then he either takes off downfield or he finds an open lane to run to and get rid of the ball. He's decisive. He's not just back there dancing around, trying to do something crazy, trying to be Superman. What he's doing is making pass rushers miss. There were 12 times today where Caleb should have been sacked. He should have been sacked, and he didn't get sacked. There was a couple plays where that's not hero ball when there's a free rusher at you and you make that guy miss, and instead of taking a sack, you have then kept the play alive and extended it. That is Caleb Williams being a magician in the pocket back there, and what he did today was incredible. Last year as a rookie, he led the NFL, a franchise record, most in NFL history, most sacks ever taken by one player. That's what Caleb was doing. Today, 12 times the Giants were pressuring him. 0 times was he sacked. When you're not getting sacked and you're not turning the ball over, That's how you play quarterback efficiently in the NFL. That's beautiful, and that's what we want to see from Caleb Williams, man. I absolutely loved it. Was he perfect today? No. Was he awesome? In my opinion, yes. You take away those 6 to 8 drops, and Caleb was 26 or 28 for about 36. Huge performance. Only one passing touchdown, one rushing touchdown. We got to see a little bit of the thunder and lightning from DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai today as well. 13 carries for Swift, 6.2 yards per carry. 7 carries for Monangai, 4 yards a carry, but he got that touchdown. Awesome job by Monangai. Swift ran hard today. You got to give Swift some credit. I don't know if you guys remember that 4th down. The only 4th down we converted all day, and it was Swift to the outside, ran to the left tackle, and put down his shoulder and ran through a guy for a 1st down. Tough run by Swift. He did the little celebration at the end. You got to love it, man. It was awesome. Caleb is still on track for 4,000 yards. If he gets around 220 a game, he's right around there. He might drop down. The pace might go down to 3,900 or something, but it's right on pace right there for 4,000 right now. So as long as Caleb if he can have a couple of big games to go with it and continue throwing for 220 to 250 a week, he should get 4,000 passing yards on the season. He's going to be right around there as long as he can stay healthy. It's awesome. Swift is banged up. Caleb also got banged up a little bit today, but he stayed in the game and proved his toughness as well. Luther Burden needs more targets, man. Luther is awesome, guys. And let's check out the targets. We'll check it out. Did you guys see the catch from Colston Loveland? One of those plays where Caleb kept it alive, threw it a little bit behind Loveland, but he reached out, made the fingertip grab. That was an incredible catch by Colston Loveland. He had 4 catches for 55 yards today on only 4 targets. Rome Odunze again leading the team in targets, 10 more targets today. I don't want to hear anybody saying Rome needs more targets. You guys know what I'm talking about. But that's just a joke. Just a joke at his dad. Rome's dad, if you guys don't know it, has talked on Twitter about saying Rome should be traded. He needs more targets. Rome leads the team in targets, and he's a Bear for life, man. I love Rome Odunze. Luther Burden, again, on only 3 targets, caught all 3 of them for 51 yards. So our top 2 picks this year, I know a lot of people clowned on them early in the year, Colston Loveland and Luther Burden. Only 7 targets. Less targets than were thrown to Rome Odunze, right? Less targets than were thrown to Zacchaeus and DJ Moore as well. But those guys went for 106 yards. 7 catches on 7 targets. Awesome job by the rookies, Colston Loveland and Luther Burden. Great job by Kyle Monangai as a pass blocker today. Great job by Cole Kmet in the block game. What do you mean, how can they not have DJ Moore? DJ was banged up. DJ got hurt in this one. DJ got banged up, and he had 4 targets and 0 catches for 0 yards. I mean, I don't know if you didn't watch the game or not, but he got banged up. He got hurt in this one. I don't even know if he was in there late in the game. I didn't happen to check the package of every formation we had out there, but DJ got banged up for sure. Cole Kmet had an awesome block on the touchdown run by Kyle Monangai. One of the coolest plays, when you guys saw they called a holding call on us and then they called it back. Oh my, that was almost the same thing they did to Darnell Wright earlier this year. Earlier this year, Darnell Wright chopped a defensive end's arms down, made him fall down. Perfect move, perfect technique, and they called holding on him. Theo Benedict did the same thing today to Brian Burns. And a ref immediately just threw a flag. Probably he sees Theo Benedict, this undrafted free agent, putting Brian Burns, the best pass rusher in the NFL. He leads the league in sacks, putting him in the turf. And they're like, you know what? He's got to be holding. But after further review, they actually picked up the flag and did not call it. Great job by the refs today. Now, were they perfect? No, but I like when they're improving. We got to give them props. If I kill them when they make those horrible calls, I got to give them props when they take the time and actually get the calls right. I've seen a couple people ask this. Looks like Kwasai asked it right there. Keith's asking it. Yes. I don't think there's any reason that Olamide Zaccheaus should be taking reps away from Luther Burden. If you want to bring Zaccheaus out there as our fourth receiver, perfectly fine. Yeah, I thought TJ was back, but was he 100%? Was he more of just a decoy at that point? It's really hard to tell. And we really won't know until we see if he's 100% next week. And I'll say this. With how much DJ's been banged up this year, he's not 100%. We're hoping he's 80 to 90%. That's what you're hoping for. He's definitely not 100. I definitely thought that should have been a roughing the passer or when they need Caleb in the head. Did he do it intentionally? That's hard to tell. But when you're that close to the quarterback, you shouldn't be flinging your knees up by their head anyway. I mean, we can't touch him on the head. We can't pat a guy on the head without getting a call. You shouldn't be able to knee him in the back of the head without getting a call either. So I do agree with that one, but I'm not going to nitpick with the refs today. They were better than they've been recently. I like that. Nick, I've talked about that one already. 12 pressures, 0 sacks. Some of those plays, there were guys who were just, we had blockers. Nobody was assigned to block a guy. They had free rushers coming right at Caleb, and he was dead in the water. He should have been getting sacked. And it was Caleb's God-given ability there, his incredible talent, is the only reason why he didn't get sacked. He was just making guys miss and extending plays. And you got to give him credit for that. You got to give him credit where credit's due for that. It was pretty awesome. Yeah, I think that's how a lot of Bears fans felt, Buck. We wanted the call to go our way because we saw it. The Giants got the roughing the passer call, so we should have got a call as well, especially when there were 2 of them that were at least close. Let's see. Reading some of these chats from you guys. We don't get those calls a lot. I mean, that's true in the past, but I will say that call on the Theo Benedict hold where they picked up the flag, because it wasn't just one ref who threw the flag either. If you guys remember watching the game, that was one where the announcer even said, he's like, flags everywhere. That was one, like 4 refs were throwing that flag. But then they actually got there. At least one of the refs saw a better angle, was able to talk the other guys down. And just like that, oh, wait, hold on. 1 second, guys. Give me 20 seconds. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I'll get it in a little bit. I'm back. I'm live. Okay. Am I back? Yeah, okay. All right, I'm back. One other thing. The Darius Slayton one-handed catch, why we're on the topic of the refs. There was definitely the offensive tackle jumped. Looked like about a second and a half, 2 seconds early on that one. You guys remember the Darius Slayton reach back one-handed catch? That definitely should have been a false start call. There were a couple of them, but I don't want to blame too much on the refs. I think the refs did a better job today. And what I'm more happy about and more excited about is Caleb Williams, man. You give this guy the ball in the 4th quarter and your team is at least in the game, you have a chance to win. You can't rule this guy out. You can't count him out no matter how bad he's been. I mean, he could be having a terrible game. He could be having an average game. But when you get to the 4th quarter, we're down by less than a score, and we get the ball. This guy can score. This guy, our team has confidence in him. Everyone on this team believes in him. And when you have a guy like that leading your team, especially in his 2nd year, and I believe the drops are definitely an issue. We've talked about it. Drops were definitely an issue today. But after guys make drops like that, one thing they're going to want to do is fight hard and come back and make that up, because they don't want to be the reason we lost this game. Someone drops a ball, they're going to want to come back and make a play later. And Olamide Zaccheaus has made a ton of big plays. Rome Odunze has made a ton of big plays. DJ Moore's made a ton of big plays. I knew someone was going to ask about Caleb's accuracy, so I might as well address it. Appreciate you. He says, I love your videos, Swift. Question, are you still worried about Caleb may never be able to fix his accuracy like when he overthrew Rome in the end zone? No, I don't. I've seen Caleb. You've seen some of the passes he made a couple weeks ago, the one he dropped on the sideline to DJ Moore. Last year, that touchdown pass he threw to DJ Moore where he dropped in the bucket in the end zone. He has just such elite arm talent. The issue with his accuracy a lot of times is his footwork. And Ben Johnson is a master of that. And you can already see just through 9 games this year how much he's improved at that already. So if you give Caleb and Ben Johnson a couple of years together, I believe those accuracy issues, no one will even be talking about those in a couple of years. Everybody makes overthrows. I don't understand why our fan base always wants to crucify our quarterback for this. Were there some misses? Yes. But you guys watch Josh Allen. Watch Patrick Mahomes. They overthrow guys too. So I don't know, man. That's a good question there by Jay. I do think this win could increase our odds of getting Asante Samuel Jr. Look, Asante's a guy who he has options. He's a cornerback who's too talented to be on the market now. He's not going to sign a big money deal. What he's going to sign is a short half a year prove it deal, and then he's going to hit free agency again in March next year. So he's only going to be on the team for about 4 months, and he's only going to be playing with you for about a month and a half, actually. So when it comes to Asante Samuel, he wants to go to a team that's going to give him an opportunity to play. That's box number 1 that he wants to check. And then number 2, he wants to play on a competitive team. If you look at the 6 teams that he took visits with, every single one of them is at least in the hunt when it comes to the playoff picture. He's not going and visiting a team like the 1-7 Jets. Did the Jets beat the Browns today? I didn't see the end of that game. That's a great question. Do you think the offense should be more polished and consistent by now? I don't. When you look at the numbers of where our offense is this season, where our offense was last season, we are miles above what we were. And you have a lot of new players on this team. They beat the Browns. Good job by the Jets. I'm proud of them. You got a lot of new players on this team. We completely rebuilt the interior of our offensive line. We have a new left tackle. So if you look at our offensive line, we have 4 new starters compared to last year. When you replace 4 out of your 5 starters, it's going to take some time for those guys to gel. And Theo Benedict, he's only been starting about 5 weeks. So that's a tough one. I think the offense is going to take a little bit more time to gel. It's kind of Caleb Williams' de facto rookie season. He's had 3 different head coaches in the last year and a half. If you go back another year, he's had 4 different head coaches. He's been in 3 different offenses. Caleb's going to take a little bit of time to adjust, but what we're looking for here and what we've seen so many positive signs of already is Caleb and Ben, when they have a chance, they can do special things together. Let these guys grow together. If you look at what I'll do a video on this later this week. This will give you guys something. What Jared Goff did with Ben Johnson his first 7 games, his first 7 or 8 games, and he struggled a lot. And his numbers are very similar to what Caleb's are right now in his first 7 or 8 games. And then you look at down the road, his next 8 games after that, his next 15 games after that. And all of a sudden, Goff took his game to another level. And Goff wasn't even a rookie. Goff was a guy who had already been to a Super Bowl before he got traded and played with the Lions. So Jared Goff was a veteran. And Ben Johnson's offense is so complex, and it takes time for him to get on the same page with the guy, that he even struggled a little bit in the first 8 half a season with Ben Johnson. Jared Goff was struggling for his first half a season. Caleb's numbers are very comparable. Now you give these guys some time to grow, and the arrow is pointing straight up. You look at all the weapons we have. Someone is talking. I'll continue making this point, but the projection for these guys over the next 4 or 5 years, they could be up there with the best in the NFL, best offenses in the NFL. We're already in just a half a season with Ben Johnson. We have a top 5 overall offense. We have a top 5 running offense. We have a top 10 passing offense. It's our defense that's really struggled. Our conversions on fourth down has not been great. Converting red zone trips into touchdowns, we've been hit or miss. And we've killed ourselves with penalties all year, especially on offense. Holding calls, false starts, all of that. But overall, this offense, once we started establishing the run, once that run game started going, Caleb has played way better. Caleb's getting better, and Ben Johnson has really gotten his bag. Now, I don't think today was Ben Johnson's best game that he's called. I don't think it was. You look back to last week, that might have been his best game he's called. But we'll see more out of Ben Johnson. How does this game look if we didn't have all those drops? That's tough to say. If we catch a lot of those passes, yeah, no, Doug's true. Caleb did get sacked on one play, but but if you're not holding the receiver downfield, Caleb might have been able to get rid of the ball. So when there's an egregious penalty like that, you can't really call that a sack. I've seen a lot of people asking about Luther Burden. I love Luther Burden. I labeled Luther Burden the steal of the draft. I think Luther Burden should get manufactured touches every week. I think he's a guy who should be involved in the game plan. Olamide Zaccheaus, I think the reason he's getting reps over Luther Burden right now is just the amount of experience he has in the slot as a slot receiver in the NFL. Blocking in the slot, his ability to use leverage inside and out on guys, make reads on the linebackers and find the little open spots in the zone. Those are all things that veterans of the NFL, it takes a little bit of time. Luther's a rookie. Luther's more explosive. He's got better hands. He's faster. He's stronger. He can break tackles better. Is he as an experienced at finding the open zone as OZ is? No. Is he as good of a route runner right now as OZ? That's debatable because I love Luther's upside as a route runner, but he's not as polished. He's not as polished as a player as OZ is. But yes, I don't think there's any reason why Luther shouldn't be on the field. I think he's a guy who he's special and he can make this offense better. Same thing with Colston Loveland. And we're going to find ways to get the ball into their hands. Yeah, DJ Moore still only has one touchdown catch on the year. He didn't have a single catch today. I thought Swift did great today. Swift was pretty good. He had 13 carries for 80 yards. You can't shake a stick at that. He ran hard, picked up that fourth down, caught a couple of passes, pretty good as a pass blocker. I think DJ would have been more involved if he hadn't have got hurt. Odunze. I can't talk bad about Odunze. I've seen people saying Odunze drops the ball too much, and I will disagree. The official stats like PFF and the other places that track drops, they say that Rome has only dropped 3 passes on the year. And Bears fans that have watched the games, there's been a lot of contested catches that have hit Rome in the hands and he hasn't came down with. Whether or not the NFL officially labels it a drop or not, that's a different story. But I think Rome has dropped a lot more than 3 passes this year. But it's not something I want to get into. But I will say Rome is a stud, and I think Rome is ascending into one of the better young receivers in the NFL. This is just his second year. I think by year 3, he's going to break out. He's breaking out this year already. He had 5 touchdowns in the first 4 weeks this season. He added another touchdown today, was our leading receiver. 6 catches, 86 yards, and a tutty. 20 points if you play fantasy football. But he does need to get better at catching the contested catches. And that's one thing that Rome was really good at Washington. He had one of the better contested catch rates in the NFL. He had a better contested catch rate than A.J. Green. And I think he was right there with Malik Neighbors. Malik might have had a tiny bit higher contested catch rate, but Rome was right there. He was one of the better guys in the nation. When the defenders were all over him, he would find a way to make that play. And in the NFL so far, Rome hasn't done that. Once he's able to do that and take his game to the next level, he's going to be one of the best receivers in the NFL. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I did see Darnell Wright's block on Burns. And guys, I should have had it out last week, but I need an appreciation video for Darnell Wright. He has simply taken his game to a Pro Bowl level. Darnell Wright is nasty. He's one of the best offensive linemen in the league, and anyone who's been repeating over and over again that Ryan Poles hasn't drafted a Pro Bowler, that narrative's going to die really soon, because the first time that Ryan Poles ever made a first-round pick, Darnell Wright, that's looking like a Pro Bowl selection. I'll knock on wood here, but Darnell is one of the best tackles in the game. I think he's an absolute monster. He's putting guys on their back nearly every single drive. When you watch the Bears, he's pancaking someone, or he's taking a linebacker or a safety and he's escorting them all the way to the bench. Darnell Wright has been awesome. He's been awesome as a pass protector. He's been awesome as a run blocker. He's been awesome on screens. He's been awesome downfield. Darnell Wright might be better than Joe Thuney this year on our offensive line. That's how good he is. Another thing, someone else in the chat just said it. Nick, my man. More wins already this year than we had all season last year. Already more wins at the halfway point of the season. Caleb Williams also has, for the Justin Fields guys out there, more fourth quarter comeback victories than Justin Fields does in 5 years in the NFL. Now, I think I said that. I might have even said that last week, but he just got another one today. Another come from behind victory. Get it, Blue. I had a lot of chats here, man. Yeah, Luther Burden is a stud. Caleb his confidence is something that, yeah, I did see that. I'll mention this for anyone who missed it. This is something I'll show it off in my video this week when I talk about Darnell. When Colston Loveland scored his game-winning touchdown last week, something that you could see on film. I don't know if you could see it on the broadcast copy, but when you're watching the All 22, when Loveland's running into the end zone, Darnell Wright's at about the 40, 50-yard line and just does a cartwheel. 320 plus pounds, 330 pounds, incredibly athletic, just doing a cartwheel, man. Pancaking people all game and then doing a cartwheel in the middle of the field to celebrate it. I do not think Ben Johnson took off his shirt today. I think that's something that could happen later this season. I think that could be us making the playoffs or something like that. Something along those lines. Doug said it here. He's one of the best right tackles in football. One of the best tackles in football, left or right, if you ask me, man. I love Darnell Wright. He's awesome. Hey, that's a good Jay Clark. Good suggestion there. Yeah, there's still people saying to trade Caleb. I saw it. I literally saw it on Twitter this morning. Someone was saying the Bears should lose the rest of their games. Try to trade Caleb for a package of picks before people give up on him, and then draft one of the. I don't know if he was talking about the Alabama kid Simpson or the Indiana quarterback. I just kind of face palm and stuff like that. I can't even respond to it anymore. I just walk away. I can't respond to that. Do you think when healthy, we have the same amount of offensive talent as Detroit? I think we have more weapons than Detroit when you're talking about the pass game. Now, I will say on the ground, Jahmyr Gibbs is a lot better than Swift. I think Monty is probably better at this point in his career than Kyle Monangai is as well. So they have a lot better run game. But when you look at the options in the pass game, we got DJ Moore. We got Rome Odunze. We got Colston Loveland. We got Cole Kmet. We got Luther Burden. Their pass game really is three guys. They got Amon-Ra St. Brown. They got Sam Laporta. And they got Jamison Williams. But when you talk about that overall, I think we have just as much talent, if not more, on offense than the Lions do. A lot of our talent, though, is very young. Like a lot of those guys I mentioned, Rome Odunze, this is his second year, right? Caleb Williams, year 2. Luther Burden, rookie. Colston Loveland, rookie. So we got a lot of young players. 2 to 3 years from now, this offense could be a lot better than the Lions. Right now, the Lions are a little bit more efficient, but I believe in us because we have the head coach. We got Ben Johnson. But who on the Bears is a possession receiver. I think possession receiver is a little bit more of a label that just kind of says a guy is not fast enough. But a guy who has sure hands is a possession receiver. Cole Kmet fits that bill. DJ Moore can fit that bill, but he gets all that yak afterwards. Touchdown Washington. Is that game on right now? Oh, against Detroit, yeah. 22-9 already. It looks like Detroit's probably going to win that one. I would like to see Washington come back, but the big one we're hoping for in the NFC North, guys, we're hoping the Packers lose tomorrow night to the Eagles. That's what we're hoping for. Oh, yeah, Nova just said it. Ben Johnson changed the culture here. I will say you got to give Caleb Williams some credit for that as well. It's not just Ben Johnson. Caleb Williams and his moxie and his ability to perform in clutch situations, that gives guys confidence. Just imagine as a fan, right? When we watch Rex Grossman, I don't want to talk about Rex, but let's talk about Jay Cutler or Mitch Trubisky, right? They would get the ball back, fourth quarter, you're down by 7, down by 3, it didn't matter, right? You get the ball back with just a minute to go. 90% of the time, one of 3 things are going to happen. We get sacked and end up having a 4th and super long. We throw an interception, or we just go 3 and out. Those things would happen almost every time. Caleb has had very limited amount of opportunities here to drive us down the field in the fourth quarter and win. And almost every time he gets a chance to do it, he at least drives us down the field for the game winning or the go ahead touchdown score. Now, sometimes the defense has to hold up. Sometimes with the bend or break defense like this, they're not holding up every single time. Bro, I love Jay Cutler. I'm not trying to take shots at Jay, but Jay had, man, some of the worst interceptions ever in the clutch moments. Clutch moments were not Jay's thing, man. It would be the biggest moment of the game, and he would throw up a pick, man. And it would be terrible. Or he gets sacked. Maybe put us in field goal range. Yeah, Caleb does that as well, just the same. Yeah, if it's not the touchdown drive, it's putting us in field goal range, making a clutch pass to put us with a chance to win the game. Yeah, for all Cuddy did, one career playoff win, and then the second game, his second playoff, the one he was going for his second win against the Packers, he was on a bike half the game. I really wish he could have finished that game. I don't want to go down memory road with that one, man. Yeah, let's get back on track here. Jay Clark had a great comment here. CJ Gardner-Johnson deserves some praise. This is a guy who was cut. He was out of football, didn't have a team. Ryan Poles went out and picked him up, and he's been an absolute difference maker for our secondary that was devastated by injuries. In 2 games now, we just signed him 10 or 11 days ago, and he has 3 sacks. 3 sacks in 11 days. That's crazy, guys. We have guys who have been on this team. Dominique Robinson, I'm looking at you, like 4 years. Took him 4 years to get 3 sacks. So you got to love what CJ Gardner-Johnson has done. And even bigger than the 3 sacks, that forced fumble today, look, that was the biggest moment of this entire game, right? Think about where the Bears were at this time, right? They were already up by a touchdown. Then they were inside the red zone. And this was a horrible decision by Brian Daboll, by the way. Giants had 4th and goal from the 2-yard line, right? And they decided to kick a field goal. I'll go to the play-by-play here when it happened here. Nope, not that field goal. This field goal right here. The Bears had got a field goal. Giants drove down the field, 10 plays, 79 yards. But at the end of the drive here, they had 3rd and goal from the 2. Ends up being 4th and goal at the Chicago 1-yard line. They kick a field goal to go up 20-10 at this point. On the field goal, the Bears had too many men on the field. So I already thought they should have went for it there. I thought they should have went for it. They should have went for it on 4th down and tried to go up 24-10. Instead, they kicked the field goal. And then even after getting the 12 men on the field penalty, and they could have got it half a yard closer. So instead of doing 4th and goal from the 1, they could have had 4th and goal from like the half-yard line. They still decline it. They take the 10-point lead. They take the 2-score lead. I get it. You want to go up 2 scores at that time. But you're at the half-yard line there. I think you got to capitalize and finish off with a touchdown. But they had a chance to put us away. They didn't. They go up 20-10. The Bears then still don't capitalize. We go 3 and out. We give the Giants the ball back. With a 10-point lead and the ball, they were driving down the field, about to take a 3-score lead in the 4th quarter and put this game away. Instead, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, right here, 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. No, wait, it was this one. 5 minutes to go. This is 4th quarter, guys. Wait, I lost it. No, it's the fumble. It was the 4th quarter. So there was 9 minutes to go when they got it. When he fumbled the ball, 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Heading into the 4th quarter, they're inside the 15-yard line here. This is where the ball got knocked out here. You can see the field here. They had already drove down the field. They're up 20-10. They drive 60-plus yards and are about to go up more. If they score a touchdown there, they would have went up 27-10, and the game would have been over. And that would have been a 1st down there at the 15, by the way. Jackson Dart fumbles the ball and then gets slammed to the turf and gets a concussion and leaves the game. I don't want to blame the Dart injury. That's unfortunate. I don't ever want to see anybody get hurt. But it wasn't the throw. It wasn't when they slammed him to the ground that hurt him that knocked the ball out. It was C.J. Gardner-Johnson getting in there, putting a hat on a hat, shoulder on the football, knocking it out of Dart's hand. And then while the ball was up in the air, Dart was looking for it, and that's when he got slammed to the turf a little bit, or he got tackled. And since he was looking up for the ball, that's what caused his head to come down, contact the turf. That was the turning point of the game right there. Instead of going down by 3 scores, we then have a chance to come back and win this game. Now, the worst part is the Bears still didn't take advantage of it, right? We got a field goal after that. And then the Giants got another field goal. And then the Bears had a turnover on downs. They still weren't coming back yet. But then we forced a punt. 3 and out right here in the 4th quarter with 8 minutes to go. They ran it down to 6:20. They ran 2 minutes out. We force a punt. We get the football back. And Caleb then drives down the football field and throws the touchdown pass to Rome Odunze. That makes it 20-17. But then we need another stop. And this is a defense that wasn't able to get a stop all day long. But here in the biggest moments of the game, back-to-back drives here where we needed stops or we were going to lose this game, and the defense got another 3 and out. This was another huge one. 3 and out right here. Russell Wilson got sacked by Montez Sweat. Huge play, and then C.J. Gardner-Johnson again, after having the forced fumble, comes up with a big sack on the drive before we took the lead. It was a 3rd and 7, and they put they put a little bit of a blitz on him there too. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, C.D. Deuce, comes up with a sack, and it gives the Bears a chance to win this game. Now we got the ball back here. There was 2:53 left in the game. Less than 3 minutes to go here. Under 3 minutes to go, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson had got a huge stop. And the Bears, then Caleb. That's when he hit the deep pass to Luther Burden. And then he scrambled for a 17-yard touchdown run. Super clutch. Bears go up 24-20. But guess what happened then, guys? We needed yet another stop from this defense. Giants had 3 straight drives late in this game where they could have won this game. The defense had back-to-back 3-and-outs. And then when the Giants got the ball back with 1:47 to go here. Yeah, there was a little muffed punt over there. The Giants had 1:47 here. It's not like they got the ball with just 30 seconds back. They had 1:47, almost 2 full minutes to go down the field and get a touchdown. They couldn't do it. Incompletion. And on the 4th and 10, the ball we got tipped. I don't know who saw this or who remembers it, but let me refresh some of your guys' memory here. Dennis Allen, 4th and 10, game on the line. And did you see him send a blitz? Matt Eberflus would never. But I haven't seen a blitz on a 4th and 10 from a Bears defense, and I don't remember how long. But that was insane. We sent pressure. The pressure got there. We didn't sack Russell Wilson, but the ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and the Bears won the football game. Clutch performance by Caleb Williams and a clutch performance by the defense because they did exactly what Caleb did. They were so. They were average for 3.5 quarters today. They were just average. They were letting the Giants score. They weren't getting huge stops. They'd come up with a turnover now and then, but they weren't dominant. But when we needed them the most, 3 straight drives in the 4th quarter, and the defense gave up 0 points. Great job by the defense. You got to take your cap off to them for that. At least they were able to perform when it mattered most. We need more rookies. Yeah, it sucks. Oh, the Lions center. Oh, never want to see Lions players get hurt. What I am looking for is the Lions to lose that game, though. However it happens, I would love to see. It's not even halftime yet. The Washington Commanders are down 12. I'm pretty sure Jaden Daniels is out for a little bit, so it's going to be Marcus Mariota, 7 for 11. Jahmyr Gibbs has a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown has a touchdown. Gibbs has 2 touchdowns. But that Lions team, they're going to be hard to beat. I have more faith that the Eagles could beat the Packers tomorrow than I do the Commanders being able to somehow beat the Lions. I actually agree with J2K here. I would love to see Monangai used a little bit more first to where the defense is down, and then you bring Swift in as a change of pace back. I think the reason they're not doing that is Monangai hasn't quite earned it yet. I think if Swift stays with this team next year, that will be how the rotation goes, and we'll probably bring in another younger guy to maybe replace Swift down the line. I'd like to see us sign a Breece Hall or a Travis Etienne as well. Yeah, I don't think Dennis Allen trusts the secondary that much either. I mean, you've seen our secondary get burnt. We saw Tyreek Stevenson get burnt for a touchdown. We saw some crazy some plays where guys they just weren't playing up to the level they can in the secondary. And we know injuries play a huge part in that. My man Eric Harper gifting 5 Swift Sports memberships. Put some emotes in the chat and thank my guy Eric. Eric, man, none but love to you, man. Send some love to the family. Appreciate you, my guy. I do like Tremaine Edmonds blitzing. I think the reason why Edmonds doesn't blitz all the time, though, he is really good in coverage. I think people don't give him enough credit for how good of a linebacker he is in coverage. Tremaine Edmonds, he's really fast. He's really tall. He's really lengthy. He can deflect passes. He can get his arms on balls that other guys can't. Cap with that one. But he's just a linebacker who can make a lot of plays. He can guard tight ends. He can guard running backs out of the backfield. We saw a couple years ago when we had TJ Edwards try to guard Jahmyr Gibbs out of the backfield, and Gibbs shook him, broke his ankles. Tremaine is a little bit better of a matchup in those situations. I like Tremaine going against some of these fast running backs. That's a good question here. Do you think the Packers losing to the Browns and Panthers is a fluke, or are they not as good as we think? Now, I do think the Browns are better than some people think. It's a good defense, and I love their running back, Quinshon Judkins, his talent. Not talking about the off-the-field stuff. That's but his talent as a running back, he's really good. He was really good at Ole Miss. He was really good at Ohio State. But the Packers are a team that I think they have question marks. I think the Packers have a ton of talent on their defense in the front seven. They have a ton of talent on their offensive line, and Josh Jacobs is killer. And then I think Matt LaFleur is one of the better play callers in football. And listen, I've heard Packers fans wanting to fire Matt LaFleur. Somehow they're not blaming Jordan Love for his terrible interceptions. Instead, they're blaming the coach. If the Packers fire Matt LaFleur ever, I am going to celebrate like the Bears signed a player or something, because I believe he's one of the better coaches in football. And if the Packers fired him, good luck finding a coach that's better than him. Good luck getting more out of Jordan Love with any other coach in the league, because I'm not sold on Jordan Love still. I think Jordan Love is the product of Matt LaFleur making him look better than he is. I don't think Love is terrible, but I think he's less talent. I don't think he's as good as Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff's better than him. And I think you guys know, anyone who's watched me a while, you guys know how I feel about Goff. He's a guy who I believe you can win with, but Goff is not a guy you're going to win because of. I do think the Rams are going to be tough. The Eagles are going to be tough. The Packers will be tough. The Lions will be tough too. We have a lot of tough games on the schedule. I actually made a video last night breaking down the schedule we have left, the games we have to win, and why I thought it was so important we won this game today. And they came through and got it done. Now, late in the game, I didn't have a lot of confidence there that we were going to get it done, but we ended up coming through and getting it done. And Caleb Williams has shown an ability to do that we haven't had from a Bears quarterback in my lifetime. As good as Jay Cutler was at times, as good as Rex Grossman was even in 2006, those teams never showed an ability to come from behind and win games without Devin Hester having to return a punt or something, or our defense having to get a pick six. Never in the history of my time watching Chicago Bears games have we been a team that is able to come from behind in the fourth quarter because of our quarterback and our offense. And that's why it really is a new era of Chicago Bears football. Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, they're doing it together. And I do think Caleb is the best quarterback in the NFC North. I think he's better than Jordan Love. I think Goff might be more experienced right now, but Caleb has a ton more talent than Jared Goff does, in my opinion, as well. And I think he's better than J.J. McCarthy. But I do think the NFC North is the best division in football. You have four teams that all have really good coaches, teams that don't beat themselves. If there's a team in this division that beats themselves, that's actually still us. It's still the Chicago Bears. We still have the most penalties on offense, but we're trying to get over that. We're trying to flip that narrative and be a team that wins games in the fourth quarter, comeback kids. And right now, this team is resilient. They're tough. They don't stop fighting. They don't give up. And everyone in that locker room believes in Caleb Williams. Everyone believes in Ben Johnson as well. Good, better, best. They do it every week with a win, and I love it, man. Now, we got the Vikings next week. Naj just mentioned it. They're coming up. That's a chance. We need to win our first game in the division. We need to go 7-3. We need to get there, because like my man Immortal says here, man, that first game of the season, that was a game the Bears should have won. And it was a long time ago. That 0-2 start, we've 6-1 since then. This team is 6-1 in the last 7. It's a different football team right now. But they might have been a little bit too confident heading into that Vikings game. I actually believe they needed to lose that game. Some of these guys, maybe they thought Ben Johnson just fixed everything and they were just going to come out here and go 8-0. They were a little bit confident early in the season. And you remember, even after that loss to the Vikings, Ben Johnson said in his press conference that week, he said they were going to beat the Lions. I don't know if he didn't come out and straight guarantee victory, but he said, we're going to win this game this week. And then we got embarrassed in Detroit. Absolutely embarrassed. We got blown out. We're 0-2. And I had fans in my comments saying they're done watching the Bears. Fire Ben Johnson. Cut Caleb Williams. We need to tank. The rebuild's over. But this team has been 6-1 since then, man. 6-1. This team has been really great, and it's a new era of Bears football, man. 6-1 since it feels almost doesn't even feel. It feels surreal saying that. I don't remember this team being 6-1 in a stretch of 7 games in a long time. Now it's happened 1 or 2 times in the past decade, but it's a very rare thing in Chicago. And usually right after that, we'll get humbled real quick. And that's why we got to keep this up. This team has to keep it up. They just have to stay in games. We could have easily lost this game today. We could have easily lost the game last week to the Bengals. But instead of finding ways to lose, which I felt like I've talked about a lot over the last 3.5 years with this team, they always found ways to lose games. There'd be games when we dominated. We would run for 240 yards on the ground, somehow still lose the game. We would have games where Justin Fields did some crazy things, broke a lot of single game rushing records. We would find ways to lose. This team has always found ways to lose. We did it last year with Caleb Williams. He came in and we thought, hey, we got the number 1 pick. This guy's going to change our culture. But this was still a team that just found ways to lose football games. Now they find ways to win. And it's fun to talk about, man. It's good when you see Caleb Williams getting the game balls. You love to see that. You love to see, even when it's ugly, and this is Doug Van Dorn just said it right here. A lot of these are, you don't apologize for wins in the NFL. Ben Johnson said it. An ugly win is a win. But what we're doing now that we didn't do before, we usually had ugly losses. I would much rather have an ugly win than an ugly loss. But that's just it, though. This team's playing ugly right now, right? But they're still winning games. Imagine once Ben Johnson finally gets this offense fully clicking and they're rolling on all cylinders. Matt, wait till we actually get a little bit healthier. We get our secondary gets healthy. Jalen Johnson or Kyler Gordon get back here. Austin Booker keeps playing better. He takes his game to another level. And Dennis Allen gets his defense playing at an even higher level. And all of a sudden, and then, hey, another point here. Imagine our special teams isn't terrible like it's been. And suddenly, this team can beat better teams. They're not just beating 2-win teams. They're beating good teams. And that's the next step. We got to beat good teams. And we have some of those coming up. We got the Packers twice. We got the Lions. We got the Eagles. We got the Steelers. We got the 49ers. We got a lot of tough games coming up. This game today, we only have one more game like this the rest of the season. We play the Cleveland Browns. They're another 2-win team. And that's another team that's going to be tough to beat for the Bears. We don't just walk in and steamroll those 2-win teams. That's not what we've been doing. You hope we can, but they have Myles Garrett, and you know he's going to cause us some problems. They have a really strong run game, and you know they're going to be able to put some points up. But the Bears just got to continue winning games. It's 6-3. We now have 7 games left, guys. Or I'm sorry, we got 8 games left. And we only need to win 4 of them. 4 of the next 8. If we could just play 500 the rest of the way, this team should be in contention for a playoff spot. With 7 teams now getting in, the 2 wild cards, 10 wins most likely gets you there. We're at 6 wins here with a lot of football still to go. The Detroit Lions they're up 25-10 right now. I don't know if there's much hope for Washington to win that game, but keep an eye. The one to watch, guys, is tomorrow night. We're hoping the Packers lose. And honestly, I think the 49ers losing helps us too. That's another team that has a similar record as we do that we might be competing for a wild card with. So I'm actually okay with the Rams. If you want something to root for the rest of right now, root for the Rams to beat the 49ers. And you can root for the Washington Commanders to come back and beat the Lions as well. But the Chicago Bears are 6-3. Caleb Williams, an absolutely stunning come-from-behind victory. The Bears got it done in the fourth quarter. 14 points. We outscored the Giants 14-3 in the fourth quarter. Our defense stepped up when it mattered most. Caleb Williams showed that he is clutch in the biggest moments. I love it, guys. I'll be back to I'll do a quicker breakdown later today to give you guys. I know some people don't like watching the whole hour-long stream, so I'll have a little 5-minute breakdown. I'll condense it a little. I'll just go over some of the biggest things that happened today, some of the best moments, and why Caleb was so clutch. Maybe put some awesome stats in there as well. But I appreciate all of you guys, man. If you missed Caleb Williams talk to the press before this live stream, go out there and check that out. As always, I appreciate everyone who watches. Enjoy this win, guys. Don't apologize for winning in the NFL. We're 6-3, and enjoy that victory Monday. Until next time, bear down.